evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, December 18th, 2018. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, the Tennessee Department of Health has issued a new advisory on the use of electronic cigarettes. Anna Moran is the latest Tullahoma honorary alderman. The layout of the new police headquarters was previewed for the public last week. We'll bring you our final segment of Tom Corrington's interview with Coffee County Sheriff Chad Parton, and we'll hear more from the Tullahoma Community Choir. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Let me tell you about this 2018 Ford Escape, yours today for $349 a month. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And my question is, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
For unto us a child is born, and he shall be called Wonderful, Savior, Mighty God, the Prince of Peace, Jesus. This year, when we celebrate not the presents under the tree, but his presence in each one of our lives, to all of you, we wish
Merry Christmas!
Welcome back. The Tennessee Department of Health is issuing a public health advisory on electronic nicotine delivery systems based on recent federal regulatory action and new evidence of risk associated with the use of e-cigarettes and similar devices. TDH Commissioner Dr. John Dreisner said, quote, growing evidence has raised the level of concern about the serious risk posed by these products to the health of everyone involved, especially children and teens. Both current and potential users of all electronic nicotine delivery systems should be aware e-cigarettes may create a variety of dangers for the user and for the bystanders exposed to the products, end quote. Among the risks cited in the new TDH public health advisory are nicotine is highly addictive and dangerous to the developing brain. Nearly 90% of adult smokers started before age 18. There is now substantial evidence that use of electronic cigarettes by youth places them at increased risk of becoming future smokers of products such as cigarettes. Those who use electronic cigarettes to quit use of conventional tobacco products often continue to smoke cigarettes as well and may be less likely to quit using tobacco. In Tennessee, 40% of high school students have used an electronic cigarette product and 11.5% report current use. Tullahoma High School senior Anna Moran was recently named honorary alderman. Let's watch as she is introduced.
We have someone new has joined us this evening. We're very pleased to welcome Miss Anna Moran. And Miss Moran is a very distinguished young person. She's a senior at Tullahoma High School. She has served as a lifeguard in Parks and Rec Department. I'm sure did an excellent job. She's also a member of the National Honor Societies. She's a member of Mu Alpha Theta. She's been on the basketball team, the volleyball team, the yearbook staff, any number of things. She also, I believe, has a 4.2 GPA. Very impressive young lady. So she's taken dual enrollment. So welcome, Anna. We appreciate you being here tonight. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
My after high school plans, I plan to attend Tennessee Tech, hopefully doing secondary education, but there's so much it's like a land of opportunity out there, so you never know. I could become a farmer. I don't know. But yeah, I hope to do well in college, and my brother's doing well, so that looks good. Good.
So you've got some family with you tonight. So why don't you introduce your family to us?
You want to stand? These are my parents, Karen and Steve Moran. My dad works at Rogers Group and my mom works at Ray and Gregory. And they're both cool parents.
Yeah.
Love them a lot.
Wow. You know, that is so nice. I've been doing this for 17 years, and I don't think I've ever recalled anyone recognizing their parents as being cool and really good parents. I think that was an incredibly nice thing to say. Yeah, very nice. I hate to see what my kids say about me. So, anything else you'd like to say?
No, I think I've covered most everything.
Good, good. We're glad you're here and welcome. So we'll be calling on you in just a few minutes. Maybe talk about what's going on at the high school and different things like that if you don't mind. Okay. So if you would stand at your desk there, Anna, and we'll present you a certificate recognizing you as the honorary alderman.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Let me tell you about this 2018 Ford Escape, yours today for $349 a month. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And my question is, why buy anywhere else?
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Centers of America.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Welcome back. The new Tullahoma Police Headquarters is moving forward in the planning stages. Aldermen were given a preview of the layout of the new facility at last week's board meeting.
So tonight you are not deliberating or voting on anything related to this, but we wanted to give you the opportunity to hear about the plans. We are very close to final plans for the new police building, and then share with you a kind of preliminary budget and timeline as we know it. And then we have Alan Hills, the architect, and he's joined by Rob Thew.
The overall floor plan of the building, we have what we're working with is a two-story building. The city was graciously given the site, and we've tried to work to utilize every square foot possible of that to the city's best interest. So we're looking at a two-story building. We're calling it the main level and the lower level. The lower level would have a floor that's approximately at the elevation of the earth now on the site, and then the upper level would be about at the alley elevation. So looking at the lower floor plan, which would predominantly be used by police department staff, we have an evidence storage area here, office space, a squad room, briefing room in this area, stairs up here and an elevator here, and then locker room space and fitness exercise space here. We are incorporating a storm shelter in part of the building, which would be here in this corner. The reason for that is that typically staff that is stationed at the police department would need to be at their posts, but would need an area that they could take cover if there was imminent danger, primarily from a tornado. So that's what that space is for. Going up to the main level, where the public might be using the building, in the front of the building, this is that parking area that we saw before that would face the existing City Hall building, ramping up to a public lobby, and the general public would be accessing this part of the building. We have some office space here, detectives' office space area here, conference room, chief and assistant's office, and community room, emergency EOC area here with kitchenette area. And those are the two stairs that we had talked about, elevator here. The upper level of the building is designed for future expansion in this area. We would like to provide covered parking for some of the police cruisers in the event of an ice storm or inclement weather with snow, if they need to go get a spare cruiser, you don't have to excavate the vehicle before you can use it. So some covered parking area here that would be the area for future expansion on the second level. So we would maintain covered parking for police vehicles even if the building is expanded. Some window openings in this side of the building would become doorways when the building is expanded.
So I'm going to give Mrs. Moody and Chief Blackwell an opportunity for any comments that you'd like to make as well.
I would just say I'm really pleased with the look of the building. One of the things that the architect did, you may have noticed, is kept with the character of the existing City Hall. And so while it's very modern, it still keeps with that kind of mid-century look on the exterior. And I was really pleased to see that. And then, of course, the police, they are in about 4,500 square feet of space now. This building is 14,000 square feet. So you can imagine there's a lot of room for things that we don't have today. And I'm excited for the future growth. And they've done a great job of preparing some spaces where they're flexible spaces where we can add, you know, say more detectives in the future or add some additional office spaces. So I'm really pleased with how it came together.
Yeah. I'm very impressed. Yeah.
This has been a team effort. Leadership in the police department's had opportunities to look at it. The rank and file members have had a chance to look at it and ask questions, and everybody's excited about it. For many of them, it's a lot of pride. Their patrol cars, their office, but the police department's their home. So they're excited about the new growth and the new opportunities, and I believe the community's excited about it as well. So very pleased and anxious to move to the next step.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Chief.
We'll be right back with more Newsleader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Welcome back. Tom Corrington spoke recently with Coffee County Sheriff Chad Parton. Tonight we bring you the final segment of that interview.
We're talking today with Sheriff Chad Parton, who's had some new ideas and made some changes in the Sheriff's Department and the whole system, and we're trying to sort of get a little insight into those. One comment which I didn't understand that was in the and some of the information I saw was that you were working with the courthouse folks to decide who needed to be there. I didn't exactly understand that. What do you mean, who needed to be there? For what?
Well, each individual person has a unique case. No one defendant or client or inmate has the same problems as the next person. So each case file has to be looked at, and by doing that, it allows the district attorney general, the defending attorney, or the judge or a probation officer know where they're at in the system. And sometimes when you have as many people or as many inmates as we've had, you get lost in the system. and your file may get pushed back. And so what we've done is tried to bring those files forward, keep them pushed firmly against the courts, so that those folks don't get lost in the population, and they're in court. We get them to court. We make sure that the system knows where they're at in the jail, and brings their case to light, and it's dealt with, and they're sentenced or given time served, and that helps move them along through the process and get them back out the door.
Well, this sounds like it's part of your situation which you've had in the past with a lot of inmates in the jail who were there for misdemeanors who really shouldn't have been there, because they wound up in circuit court instead of.
They can end up in different courts, and there's a lot of inmates that are charged with misdemeanor charges and felony charges, so they're having to be dealt with in both courts.
Sure.
And generally they compile those. Generally the misdemeanor charges will get blended into the felony charge, because that's the higher court, and then the circuit courts handle that. But there's times that things can get confusing with them, and into what court system that they need to be dealt with in, and where they need to get their time. We have a lot of pretrial, what we call pretrial misdemeanors in our jail. Basically as of today, I have 163 inmates in our county jail that are pretrial misdemeanor inmates.
Yeah.
And that has shot up tremendously. We had been averaging about 120 to 130.
Shot up since when?
Since I've taken office 60 days ago, and that those levels spike. They go up and down, up and down. But pretrial misdemeanors are people that are in jail that can't make bond, or they're there on probation violations or some type of misdemeanor violation, and that is those are inmates that we want to push along through the system, either make bond, get out of jail, or get sentenced, so that they can get to doing their time and not just be sitting around waiting to go to court. And those are the ones that we want to keep pushing forward, so that every person has a right to a speedy trial. Now I can't provide the trial. I just can get them to the trial, and make the courts aware. Hey, don't forget about little Johnny out here. He needs, we need to get him before the judge today. And so those are the things that we really have to stay on top of.
Let's see if we can give everybody a little understanding of that. The way the system is meant to work, misdemeanors go into the general session.
Yes, sir.
That's what I call the general session court, and that's a sort of an informal court, and they can handle things immediately right then and dispose of them, and that's the end of that. If they don't, the problem you've been having is that a lot of them have wound up being assigned to the circuit court, which equals a trial, really, a trial by jury a lot of times.
It can, and we don't, the system doesn't want misdemeanors in circuit court if at all possible. They need to be dealt with in the lower courts. The circuit courts are dealing, they're formed for felony cases.
Felonies, right?
Yes, sir, and we don't, we can get into a quagmire in the lower courts because of the numbers.
More Newsleader is coming up in a moment.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Check out this 2019 Chevrolet Equinox, yours today, $229 a month. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the bypass in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community, because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Let's watch now as the Tullahoma Community Choir, under the direction of Ann Baldwin, performs Behold That Star.
There was no room
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include young singer Macy Tabor, who will come and perform a couple of songs for us. We'll also bring some coverage from the last week's Old Town Stroll. All that and more on this week's Living. We'll be right back in a moment with your weather forecast.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester, where we're offering employee pricing on remaining 2018 models and up to $12,000 off select Silverados. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the bypass in Winchester. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's got to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this. Our record high was in 2006 at 71 degrees. The record low was in 1932 at 3 degrees. Average high on this day is 50, and the average low is 29. Partly cloudy weather expected tonight with a low of around 25. Partly cloudy weather continues in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 47 and a low of 31. Mostly cloudy weather expected on Thursday with a high of 51 and a low of 43. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.